So this is our editing rig. We're about to do some work to it. So if you're watching this video, either it worked or Phil's editing on his laptop. NZXT's build is a quick and easy way to get a new gaming computer, and right now they're proud to announce expansion and availability to Australia, the Netherlands, France, and Italy. Build a gaming PC on your budget using the built-in configurator and see exactly how your favorite games will perform. Want to build your own PC but still have the NZXT Peace of Mind warranty? Then the new BLD Build It Yourself kit has what you want. Buy it and build it yourself, and NZXT has you covered. To get started configuring or building your next gaming PC, visit the build link in the description below. So this system is 2 years old now, and we've cleaned it out more than once. I know I've cleaned it once, Phil's cleaned it again, and it's looking pretty gross. But then again, we live in a really, and work in a really dusty area, and our office is not exactly the, because it's got drop ceiling and a warehouse, and it just dust is falling from the ceiling all the time. We're gonna do 3 different things today that we have to do for this system. One, obviously, it needs to be cleaned. Really badly. Let's look at the power supply dust filter in the back. First of all, look at that, right there. Ew. Ew some more. The other thing we have to do is we have to take out these 2 drives right here, which are completely full, and then we're gonna replace them with 2 new 2 terabyte drives, which means we, wow, 10 terabyte drives. So we got 20 more terabytes going in here, so we're taking out these 20 terabytes, we're gonna archive them somewhere else later, then we'll get those drive capacities back. 2 fresh drives are going in here, so that means obviously we're cleaning it, replacing drives, and while we're in here, I told Phil, I was like, we should get this 3080 out of here. Phil, ironically, has the slowest graphics card of the 3 of us. So I have a 3090 in my system, Nick has a 3800 XT, I guess.
3800? What?
I hate numbers. I have a 3090 in my system, Nick has a 6800 XT, and then Phil has a 3080. Although the 3080 is probably faster than the 6800 XT, even though both are water cooled. We're gonna put a better graphics card in here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the GPU out of the loop entirely. So that means we also have to make a new run from this radiator to this, is that the outlet? Yeah, that's the outlet. So we gotta go from the return outlet to the rad, then the CPU, then out the rad and back to the thing. The problem is I also don't think I have any of this tubing this exact size, which means we're gonna trigger all you by probably running a different tube from there to there, like a black one. I could just replace all the tubing with black tubing, but I don't wanna. It's funny, this is one of those systems that we built to like really show off Threadripper. 32 core, 64 thread CPU. Like I said, Phil does all our rendering on this. But really it's about being practical and easy to service, which is why we did the soft tubing to begin with, which a lot of people got mad at me for. Like, you're the water cooling, like hard tubing king, why are you using soft tubing? Because carrying fluid from one component to another really doesn't matter how you get it there as long as you get it there. The thing about soft tubing is the fact that we could take a CPU block off and still access our CPU without having to drain the whole system and such. Although we have to drain it right now, but. All right, I guess we should just start with blowing it out. This is gonna go well. This is why it's super important to always have a drain in your system. Even if it's not at the absolute lowest point, because technically the lowest point's right here in the radiator, this is going to make life so much easier when it comes to servicing your system. And I'm really torn in my brain. I'm always torn in my brain. My brain's very torn. But I'm very torn on whether or not I want to replace all these tubes with black or literally just replace that one, because again, this is a function over form system that has to just work. It's a lot less about aesthetics. And this is actually the first time in a long time that I've done any sort of system that's like stuck, that has an actual fill port at the top. A fill port for my fill, I always say. The nice thing about having a fill port on top, which you can't see, but you'll see it if you watch our build of this system, which is 2 years old now. It's nice, I don't have to take any ports off of this reservoir to let the coolant out. So remember, air in, Jesus, tight, equals air out, fluid in, fluid out, right? So air in, fluid out, that's what we want. That's the fluid dynamic we're looking for here. We're just gonna let this thing kind of continue to piss for a while. Yeah, the official terminology, air in, piss out. Hashtag fluid stuff. So I have to let the air get up there. If the air doesn't get up there, it's probably a good idea replacing the tube anyway. Look, it's like yellowing because of the orange fluid. So I now have to disconnect that tube and we decided we're just going to hook them together with this.
So I'll have 2 fittings there for a stupid reason, which is whatever, it's fine. And I have to do this without coolant deciding it's just gonna blah, blah. Okay, we good. Oh, tap, tap. Tighten that on there. There we go. It looks good. Yeah, see? I've seen worse in your Rate My Setups. It's so tight on the tube. This might be the stupidest looking computer thing. Uh-oh.
Well, you better connect them real quick.
I can't because I can't spin it. I have to get the fitting on first. Nick! If I let this down, it's gonna come out of there. Come on this, see, there it goes. I need that bottle put over here so I can drain the tube. Now lower it. Fluid goes down, not up, sir. Oh, stop! I did that. So this isn't hard.
All of our
I'll take this.
footage is gonna be orange.
Everything's gonna have an orange hue to it. For the first time in forever. Piece of cake. You can do this at home. So I want to point out the condition of the card after 2 years of use with this coolant. This is actually the EK Cryofuel coolant, if I remember correctly, that we dyed orange. Look at that, absolutely no discoloration whatsoever to the nickel plating. No clogging of any sort. That's why I've kind of gone away from any of the pastels, because of the fact that they look nice, but they're thick. They coagulate. They turn thick and jelly and they get stuck everywhere, and we don't want to deal with that. Same thing with the CPU block too. If you look up in there at the CPU block, extremely clean. There's nothing stuck in the flow plate or the jet plate at all. So that's why I said I have no problems reusing this coolant. So I'm not doing a flush. I'm just drained what we didn't need and pouring back what we need. And we're gonna call it a day after that. So now we gotta decide what graphics card's gonna go in here. So I gotta rearrange all these because we're moving the card. So we put the card originally like down towards the bottom slot. One, because we felt it looked super empty with it all up high. Because remember, this Phanteks case is designed to be able to put an ITX system right here. And so we ended up putting everything down low so it would fill out the system because we felt it looked really ugly. And it triggered people, and we love that. We love to trigger people. The other cool thing is because now we went from a single slot card back to a dual slot, we don't have a missing PCIe slot. So Phil decided he wants to give AMD a shot and see how it's open. Is that gonna be enough slack? Uh-oh. Yay! But this is one of the reasons why now we've gone with standard. That sags so much. You know what, screw it, it can sag, I don't care. And now that it's not water cooled, if it turns out to be bad, we can just throw a 3090 in there. The 3090 would have been nice just because it has 24 gigabytes of VRAM, but again, video editing doesn't use VRAM like, doing 3D modeling and stuff does. So it's just nice for him to be able to give this a shot now. And then I asked Phil, I was like, are you sure you want to lose the, advanced DLSS options and features and stuff on NVIDIA? And he was like, the only games I play here is pretty much Rocket League. I mean, you do play Star Citizen, and your Halo Infinite every now and then, but
honestly, that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to go AMD because I want to see what the performance is like on the other side.
I mean, the pigtail looks dumb, but Nick hasn't complained about his 6800 XT. But then again, I don't think Nick would complain. Oh yeah, the coil whine, but that's because of the water block. Yeah. That's 100% because of the water block. All right, so now we have to get these drives out of here. It's been too long. Ha. There we go. Ha. Now we're in it. I shall fight for honor. That's satisfying. Yeah. And just like that. 20 new terabytes of, I shouldn't leave that in the fan. All right, just like that, we got 20 new terabytes of, we could fit so many JCSense videos in about 2 years worth we've actually figured out. All right, all there is left to do now is turn it on, let it fill the rad and stuff, top this back off. I might as well power it up right now, I guess, to do that. Then Phil's got to get his Radeon drivers installed.
Did you just whip yourself in the yourself?
I'm fine. We'll be right back. Maintenance like this is something we tend to do on Phil's system every year or so. I mean, Phil already cleaned out the dust and stuff in this once, but like I said, we live in a very windy, dusty, deserty area. We can't really help any of the dust that makes its way in here. We really can't. And we're done. So theoretically, well, I have to cap that off first, and then we're done. But theoretically now, Phil's got 2 empty drives. No longer does he have 2 drives that are like completely and utterly full. Like how much storage was actually left on there, Phil?
I think one of them had like 3 gigs free.
3 gigs?
Not even one single video.
Yeah, not even one video. So this doesn't actually look as bad as I thought it would. Looks like a little barbell or a little dumbbell.
Do you even live, bro?
Okay, so yeah, there we go. CPU's at 27C. All right, guys, there you go. So we take you along for the ride on this little shindig. Now we've got 2 systems in the office that are completely AMD. Nick's, Phil's, mine's a Threadripper, but it has a 3090 in it. So yeah, AMD fanboys here, I guess. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that you guys would see us in our next video too?